Hey, it's Eline. Today we are doing yet again something different. We are experimenting with materials over here, and today the challenge is making a fantasy terrain. If you don't already know me, I'm an artist, I have an interior design degree, and I like to do fashion and crafting and everything in between. So this project isn't for me personally, I'm making it for somebody else. The goal is to make this terrain based on the Hollow Earth landscape from Godzilla X Kong. I really liked the Hollow Earth landscape, and that is what I am going to try and emulate today. So this project got inspired by this bad boy. We found it at a secondhand market for €5. Originally it's one of those tiny villages Christmas terrains, but we thought we could make it into something else. So designing it was very simple and quick. I just took a picture of the cast and then I traced over it with I think a multiple layer and a color layer, and together with my quote-unquote client, I showed him my ideas for making it and turning it into some sort of terrain that is inspired by Hollow Earth. He wasn't sure about the amounts of water, but I assured him that water was in fact in Hollow Earth. So I got my way and I added spikes in the last moment, and yeah, that's the design we're working with. So I got some materials. I went shopping today and I had a few things in the back. I already had some fake moss in the back. I used it also for this frame thingy. I got these from Action. It's like a dollar store here in the Netherlands. Some fake succulents. I also got this fake plant, and then I got this LED strip which the color can be changed to put inside of the terrain to make it look like it's glowing on the inside. So those are the materials that I will be working with today. Much more different than usual, but I will still paint a little because I will need to paint the background of the terrain. So let's get to work. Whew. So I just got all my paints, and I also got some air dry clay. I had this laying around in my room. In my sketch there are a lot of spikes, so I'm going to try and make that out of this air dry modeling clay. I usually get my craft supplies at like our dollar store. For the spikes I'm going very simple. I think I will use the whole clay eventually. Going with 3 at the top, 2 here, and then a few here at the bottom. This clay is a bit heavier than what I would have liked. So we got our first little spike. I also don't want to make the spikes too thin because as I do need to move it to a different house. So in order to not make it break, I'll have to make the spikes a bit thicker. Also, this thing itself is very hollow, kind of on brand with the theme Hollow Earth. It's not as great because it's not as stable here in the back. It could dent in as the plastic is very flimsy. Now they just need to dry. I'm gonna let them dry on here and then eventually glue them back on. Now that that is done, I'm going to try and make a base of the terrain with some paints. So I think it's turning out quite well. Painting is one of my strong suits. It's what I do most of the time, so yeah. I'm gonna define the water a bit more. I really like the way that's turning out. It's a lot different than my usual colors, but hey. If you want to see my room, tripod, window, everything else. It's a mess. Just gonna add a few more blue highlights to emulate what I've drawn in the reference. Now the clay under here isn't dry yet, and I'm aware of that. I didn't have any patience to let them dry. So that's where we at. Okay, I think it's time to let it dry now, and I'm gonna put in the lights. Like, just look how cool it looks. A little griffin. So I am making this for my boyfriend. He has a very large collection of figures, and he needs a place to put them in. Only I almost want to keep it for myself. So, also, little side note, I found this lantern secondhand, and I just put in an LED, and it works, and it looks so cute. Yeah. So these are the lights specifically. They're solar LED strips, so they get powered by the sun. I need to figure out how they work, and then we can light this baby up. If I can open the damn box. English, got it. Why do I always get him nice stuff? Hey, it turns blue. Nice. Oh, I see how it works. Okay, so when it's closed, all the lights work. So right now I'm using the electrical tape that I used in my window projects just to tape it inside. It's absolutely dark. Yeah, so the strip is like 3 meters long, just enough for me to fill all of this. I really like that it's waterproof, so it has like a covering. So the solar panels are the battery in this one, and whenever it's dark, it turns on. So it's mostly like a night light, and I could also turn it any color I want. So now that we got the LEDs, I'm gonna get my hot glue gun, if it still works, and then we are going to put a lot of fucking plastic on this thing. So I got all my materials gathered. I also found some stones that I will be adding some glow-in-the-dark paints, different colors, giving touches here and there, and then lots of glue sticks. So let's get to work. So I decided to add green moss at the front after going back and forth with my client, my boyfriend, saying that he liked the white moss in the back but wanted green moss in the front. I added some stones and I painted over one last time. I didn't want it to be overly grown and full so that the figures will not be placeable anymore. But for now, this is the finished result, and let's go on to the close-ups. Now that that is done, I hope you like this video. I'm really proud of how it turned out. Can turn any color I want, even pink. I hope you have an amazing day. And for that, I am finishing off this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what kind of things you want me to create, and if you are going to do this project as well with very simple materials, tell me please in the comments. I love hearing about everybody's trying to make it themselves and me inspiring people. So I'll see you next time. So now the hobbit holes are just raving